Yeah, what they say, pull aside, stay alive, or some shit like that. And the other thing I love about Arizona is we have what's called a stupid motorist law. So flash floods, especially among take two, take three, let's go with take two. Anyway, in Arizona, there's a lot of flash floods around monsoon season because the rain can just out of nowhere. Yeah, what do they say?
And where you get them clippers from? Yeah, under the sink. That's what I'm saying. Y'all gotta ask for y'all use stuff. I shave my balls with those clippers, and I wash my ass. I got a face rag and an ass rag, and that's the clippers I use to shave my ass with. Y'all gotta ask questions. Y'all can't come in the bathroom just grabbing stuff, man. You gotta ask questions, man. So yeah, both of y'all got balls all in your face, man. So an ass and balls all in y'all face. So I mean, I apologize, but I'm just saying.
Let's see. What is your favorite Michael J. White movie? It sucks, but at the same time, it sucks so bad that it's good. It's Black Dynamite. I mean, you can't not like that stupid shit. And then when they turned it into a cartoon, I think they only did like 3 seasons, but it's on Max. If anybody has Max, check out Black Dynamite because that shit is.
It was just things that you knew to avoid, but nowadays you just don't know. Like from day to day, I mean, we got Trump as a president. You got your friends where their parents are getting snatched out of their houses and shit because they might not be legal. You don't know if your friends are gonna get snatched out of their house or whatever.
Right.
Like, it's fucking depressing.
And
that's what I told her.
They've never been in, ever.
Yes,
they've never
because they were born here or been here since they were 2.
Been up in space, but not.
She didn't leave the atmosphere.
No,
they didn't leave the Earth. Because as soon as they went up, it exploded, and that fireball that you saw going off to the side was them. Yeah, and they were still alive. They were alive until they hit the water. So yeah, they imagine the terror of that shit.
For me, I love their chips and salsa. I have not gone to another restaurant that has the same chips and salsa because most of the time,
tortilla chips in mayonnaise. She dipped them in mayonnaise. Amy,
what terrorist did that nasty shit?
Like we're getting ready to order, and she's the lady brought out the chips and salsa, and she says, "Can I have a side order of mayonnaise?" Sorry, I said, "Ew, for what?" And she was like, "For my chips."
Who is this?
She ate them like that. My best friend.
Oh.
Yes.
Now, Amy, don't do that no more. Gross.
Now, she loves mayonnaise. She loves mayonnaise more than any person I've ever met. But that was, I was like, oh.
Did you try it?
Well, I guess the rest of that intro cut off as I thought it might. We're back after, how long has it been? 2 weeks?
Yep.
Something like that. And of course, right out the gate, technical difficulties. That's bad. Well, no, the only problem was I was about to pick my teeth.
Oh.
I expected another.
I was about to pick
another minute to be able to groom myself. Welcome to Trainwreck, where technical difficulties are our specialty. I am your host, Coltrane, and let me see where we are on I got to see on YouTube. Oh, there's a goddamn 7-second delay.
It's always opposite because of you.
Okay,
your
so
screen.
is Shell Coltrane.
Hello.
Miss JJ is not here tonight. She had a small procedure, but fear not, she is doing okay. Matter of fact, she's probably listening right now. If you are, poke your head in and say sup, sup, sup. I sounded like Batman. Fear not, citizens of Gotham. JJ is going to be okay. That was more like Captain Kirk, actually. So it is 6 de Mayo, right? Or is it 7? It's the 7th. Damn.
Yeah.
Time is just going by.
Bye.
Hello, Billy, CM, Elena, darling. How you doing? And Billy again. Saying hello to Gonzo over there. Yeah, it's May 7th already. And I completely forgot Cinco de Mayo.
Mhm.
And I know if I forgot, you forgot because like
Oh, yeah.
we live together. But I mean, funny enough, I had some Corona. It's just I enjoy the delicious taste when you put lime and or lemon in it. Matter of fact, the lemon is actually a little bit better than lime, and I didn't expect that because I was gonna turn my face up when we ran out of the lime juice, but you can't just have straight Corona because that's like licking a banana peel with carbonation. But God damn, put me back where I was. I'm reading notes and talking to you.
We didn't do shit for.
No, we didn't do shit for Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
I don't even think we watched anything that was Cinco de Mayo related.
Probably not. I think we watched Alfred Hitchcock, but I think we both had a beer, so I don't know. Maybe that's our celebration.
Well, actually, you know what? I think I might. No. Matter of fact, the whole reason why there was no show last week was old Coltrane fucked himself up. It was one of those medical intervention type things, medicinal, whatever. I had apparently a few too many whiskey sours as I was enjoying my parents being in town, and they flow, boy. It's just like because I make them delicious. Like I put a little bit of maraschino cherry juice in there. I drop the chick, put that bad boy in there, and I have to show off. And after I eat the cherry, and then tie the thing in the stem. But they were going down way too easy. And I got the Mr. T brand sour mix, and I was using E&J. I usually use Maker's Mark, but that shit's expensive. So, and I knew we were gonna go through this. I ain't trying to go through no expensive whiskey quickly. That's sipping whiskey. And then I throw either ginger ale or 7-Up, and then, like I said, it's not grenadine, but it's the maraschino cherry, the juice that's in there. Toss a little cherry in there. It's got just the right amount of sweet and sour, but yeah, it was. Normally my rule is never go to the third drink because that's about 2.5 in. That's about where the trouble starts. You start making some real dumb decisions. You start texting, you start Facebook typing when you shouldn't have your ass on social media to begin with. That's a silent shout out. But general rule is if you're tired, if you're drunk, if you're hangry, keep your ass off social media because that's yourself in trouble. But so anyway, I don't even know how many I had. Y'all were watching me more than I was.
Yeah, it was probably around 4 or more. Maybe more.
Oh, because y'all was acting like I down 13 or something. But the problem is, though, one of the new medicines I'm on, it's been working so well, I forgot I was on it. And so, it was about, I went to bed okay. And I woke up okay. But then things just started going rapidly downhill. And, I can't even describe I don't want it to die. It's a basic feeling. I spent the entire day in the shower, like in and out of the shower, and not standing. I mean, laying down in the shower while it rains down on me for like an hour at a time. Because that was the only thing that could, the sensory or whatever it does in your nerves. Apparently the dog is out there bumping in the table. That's why she bowed out for a minute. But something about the sensory of the water hitting just makes you feel better.
And then I think I can make it back to bed, you know, and I try to go to sleep and it's just uncomfortable. So essentially it felt like I was going through like the DTs or some shit like that, or draw. It was terrible. Next day I thought I was doing better, which would have been show day. And about hour after I woke up, it just started all over again. Just even the body clenches, I almost got to a point to where I was going to lock up again. And those of you who've been watching the show a long time know that it was a few years ago. I talked about the body lock I had when I just threw up and retched as much as I possibly could for whatever reason. I think it was stress at the time because it was about 12 years ago it happened.
Yep.
I lost like 35 pounds or something like that, and I kept off 20 pounds, so I still look good. But anyway, I was a fat ass. What's going on? I remember going down the stairs, my boobs jiggling and hurting. That's when you know it's about time. That, and when your lats get tight on your shirt, it's about time for you to to go to the next size, or maybe try to drop down. We're kind of late getting to some of these comments, by the way, because since there's only the two of us, excuse me, it's really a 3-man job between YouTube, looking at the comments here, responding, media, banners, and all that kind of stuff. So bear with us. I'm seeing you over there on YouTube, Billy. So orange juice and wine is good too. You mean together?
So what kind of wine? I would like to know.
Yeah, because I mean, you can't just say wine.
Like Moscato, that might not be bad.
It might not be, but that just seems sweet.
Well, there's different types of Moscato, like the brand. Some of them are really, really sweet, and some of them aren't as sweet.
Yeah, some are gross and some are nasty.
Pinot might not be too bad.
Nah, maybe not. But I don't know. But to me, that almost sounds like sangria.
Yeah.
Juice and wine, which I'm not fond of either. It's like a fruit salad in my wine. I gotta pull these comments up here because I don't think you guys can all see. If not, this just out of the blue from Billy. I love moonshine.
That was when you were talking about the drink that you were making.
Yeah. Matter of fact, my uncle makes moonshine, and it's all right. I think I have the tolerance, as I was just talking about, like poisoning myself a minute ago. with other things, it's like I have the tolerance of a giant because, my dad is 6'3" and, north of 300, and a drink will put him down, and if, basically a muscle relaxer, anything you take is going to put him down. I have a big cousin like that who's north of 300 pounds, who's 6'5". One drink, he'll be a little loosey goosey, but a painkiller will probably drop his ass. Me, they tell you, they were like, just start with one and then see how you feel. Shit, I had to take 3 to actually feel any kind of relief, and to go to sleep, I had to pop that 4th one later on. Thus proving why it was probably a good idea that there was some, I don't know if it's godly intervention or what, but I got sick right before I was about to train to go into wrestling. I don't think I would have survived. Thank you, Darryl.
Right. After listening to a lot of the stories of the different wrestlers and how they have to survive.
Well, yeah, because I mean, and the thing is, it's been a long time since I've been thrown or fallen off of anything, I've fallen off shit. But anyway, it's been a long time since I've trained hard, and I just choked a bit. God damn, she gave me that sandwich and I lost my train of thought. So reverse.
It's been a long time since you have fallen off of something. You're talking about training, wrestling.
Oh yeah, okay. So, but anyway, I'm in pain every day, and it's what I call comfortable pain because it's. Let's just say if I woke up tomorrow and I felt absolutely no pain at all, it would feel weird and I'd be scared because I'm probably dying at that point. But it's just something you live with. I know my mom has chronic pain, and I guess we're built from tough shit. But between my neck, my shoulder, right now, I've showed people before, but like
you can literally see right there. That is my clavicle. It's going over my breastbone, which is not supposed to happen. But daily, I have to work it out. I have to, and yeah, I know the simple answer is go to a chiropractor. But the last chiropractor we went to, I'm not joking, there was probably a 300% turnover in the year and a half, 2 years we were there. It was every time I got, somebody that knew my body well and did a great job, and but they were getting underpaid, they weren't getting insurance, so it was just a carousel. And and trying to chase them down, find out where they went. They have those what is it, like
no compete clause.
Yeah, no compete clauses and stuff, so they ain't gonna tell you where they are.
Mhm.
And, they have to wait 60, 90, whatever days the contract says to begin with, which is fucked up, to tell somebody, hey, you can't make a living because I'm scared you might beat me at competition.
Right.
If you're good, you're good. If you suck, you suck. And they suck. They just happen to have good people. But I don't feel like, the x-rays and the paperwork and the insurance fraud and the, everything they do. And then like, yeah, I come in 3 times a week. No, you don't. Just set that motherfucker and let me go. And what really turned me off last time was I've been through, in the course of my life, over the past 30 years, well, not quite 30, about 25 years, I've probably seen 8 different chiropractors. Every one of them is like in awe of my flexibility, because even at 40, am I 47? Damn. Even at 47, I can put my leg over my head. I can still kick you in the face if you're 6 feet tall. My hips are very elastic. Yeah, I can still do the splits. And that was from years of training before. I still got Billy's coming up there. He's just a moonshine freak. But anyway, so everybody has marveled at my flexibility. And even within my neck, which, by the way, I broke part of my neck a long time ago, which is, part of the reason I don't like to do too many athletic endeavors anymore, because it just shoots a pain right down actually it just shoots a numbness down my arm, and like the side of my face might tingle, and that feels below average.
Not something you'd hope for.
No. But so I do have pliability in my neck, which is a good thing, which was what they told me. Well, you can tell Junior just got his handbook on how to sell and what products to give out and blah blah blah, because he was saying, do you crack your own neck? And said, well, we all do, even if we say we don't. Like, once that pressure builds up, you're gonna pop it. And so I said, yeah. And he said something about, like, do you do the when you twist your back? And I said, no, I don't do that. And he was like, well, your hips are really pliable, and so is your neck, and really there should be some stiffness in there because we have to maneuver and work. Okay, in what world is flexibility a bad thing?
Right.
Okay, so if I fall, let's just say I get hit by a car and I fall head against the curb. If I got a stiff ass neck, it's gonna break. If I got a little bit of give, I'm good. So, but it was just, as he's talking, you can just smell the bullshit coming out of his mouth. And I was so turned off that was literally the last time we went in there. And that was probably, it's almost been a year, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to search down the original the couple of chiropractors that I actually liked. One skipped town. That's a whole different story. But, whatever. So again, this is Trainwrecked, and we are going to be talking about some weird shit today, as we will every Wednesday night. Wednesday is the night where we're just, we're trying to let loose, trying to have some fun. It's hump day. It's all of our favorite days, right? And we're just trying to get through the week. So, no politics, none of that kind of shit. We just do fun shit as we go along. It's going to be more interactive. It's a matter of getting the equipment. It's a matter of, setting up the equipment. We're a small operation here, but a fun one. So we're going to get you guys involved a little bit more. We are going to have game show night. Probably not next month, but the month after that, which will be fully interactive. So make sure you pay attention and look for that, because you'll have to pre-qualify to be a participant. On top of that, every Wednesday we're going to go through weird stories, sometimes murder mystery, stuff like that. And then we'll just have conversations. So just shoot the shit. Friday mornings at what is it, 6 Pacific. So 10 Eastern. God, I'm just terrible. 6 Pacific, 10 Eastern AM on Fridays. We have the more serious talk show where we discuss things that's going on in the world, and we basically solve all the world's problems. So with that, let's get a couple of addresses up here so we can get that out the way, and let's get right into everything. What were you about to say?
I was just trying to calculate the time for you, and I screwed it up. So
Yeah, you screwed it up and was late.
yep.
For Trainwreck's Instagram, which JJ is really the one that works on that. I haven't seen in a while, which is shameful. It is Instagram.com/trainwreck_D. Now, please pay attention to the spelling because I've had Coltrane spelled all kind of different ways. For you wrestling fans, which there's a bunch of you out there, Michael Cole, Cole, and like Drivetrain, Trane, not choo choo, even though there's choo choo up there. That's play on words. So, for my Facebook, all you got to do is go in there, type in Jaded Zen Entertainment. It should pop up. You'll see our pretty faces up there. Go ahead and subscribe, like, do whatever Facebook tells you to do. They always tell you something different. Follow, like, subscribe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just click on whatever they tell you to click on so that way you can get all the latest news and whatnots. And those of you who are watching us on our official YouTube page, I don't know why they do the /@ anymore. It used to just be /word, but it's youtube.com/@JadedZen. Jaded Zen. It's pretty easy to spell. Make sure you just pay attention. Look down there. If you are on YouTube already, there is a little red square at the bottom right of your screen. That's interactive. If you hover your mouse over that, just click it. You are subscribed. If you are already subscribed, don't hit that button because it will unsubscribe you. The only reason I know that is because I'll see the same, 2 or 3 people subscribe. So, and then the number will go up and down, every so often. So if you're already subscribed, it will say subscribed. And if you're not, it will say subscribe. So, make sure you get the word out. Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your uncle, tell your weird cousin. We're on 7 o'clock Pacific time every Wednesday night. And I think that's about it for all that kind of stuff. Thank you, Billy. Like I said, that's some permanent shit. I'm always going to be a pain, but as far as the pliability and everything, I feel pretty good. There's times I forget what age I am because I wake up and 30 years ago doesn't feel that long ago. I still remember a lot of shit, a lot of stupid stuff I did, but we had fun. But I feel like that until I get up and my back sounds like a dryer full of gravel. And sometimes I'll bend over to get something and it's just like, holy son of a bitch. The most pain I have experienced in quite a while was last week and this is where you got to really pay attention to your body, people. I swear to God, my shoulder was out again because it was 2020 during the pandemic. I had my labrum fixed because it was completely torn for years. And I just thought I had a sore shoulder. But this pain, when I woke up and reached over to get something, was worse than that. I mean, it was a almost screech out loud type of pain. And I thought, oh, fuck, I tore it again. Literally, it was an area in my lat where there was a knotted muscle where when I would feel that, I could feel the referred pain in my shoulder. So a lot of times, when you go to the doctor and they can't find what's going on because you're pointing to a certain thing that hurts and they can't physically see it, just especially like when you're taking a shower or something like that, if you got the rag, whatever you use, make sure you feel everything in your body. If something doesn't feel right or something's sore, feel around on it and make sure there's no referred pain because sometimes it's something else. I thought there was something wrong with my other shoulder. It turned out I had a, cracked bone in my neck. So what are you going to do?
Yes. So that just made me think of 2 different things. One, some people may think this is weird because I've had people look at me weird when I tell them this, but when I take a shower or even when I bathe, I use just the bar of soap. So I, suds it with my hand, and then I just use my hand to wash my body. And some people are like, "Ooh, that's gross. You should use a rag or a loofah or something like that." But the main reason why I do that is so I can feel around my skin, and there's nothing between my hand and my body part. So if there's like a bump or something like that, or a zit or whatever, I can notice it right away.
Oh
But
yeah.
because a lot of people don't realize things because they're not aware, or they're using something that makes it so they can't feel their actual body parts.
And a lot of people do feel something, but they just wish it away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've had friends where, okay, I'm just going to tell the story. I'm not going to drop no names or anything like that. But gentlemen, especially gentlemen my age, y'all all know about, prostate cancer and your PSAs and everything like that. Hopefully, your PSA, which I can't remember, it's like prostate something antigen or whatever. It's the amount of inflammation in your prostate that can dictate if you get cancer or not. It should be below 4.0. 4.0. At my last check, mine was 0.58, which is under 1. So I'm doing pretty good. Had a friend whose husband's shit was 17 and wasn't even doing anything about it because his dad had a high prostate score or whatever the hell like that, and nothing happened to him yet. And so, fellas, don't compare your shit to other fellas because everybody's body's different. But goddamn, but what's gross is it actually turned out to be an infection in his like belly button area. So yeah, he was overweight. So, but don't people? It just drives me crazy. The people that will just tell you all the shit they got going on, and it's like, man, that sounds like XYZ, which is some shit that requires medication. Well, I'll use these crystals and rub some salt on my armpits.
Yeah.
And for those of you who use that natural deodorant, it does not work. Okay.
Yeah.
I know people who live to be 100 that use that aluminum filled ass deodorant. We got soap to wash that shit off at the end of the day. Put deodorant on, or just quit sweating.
So the other thing that I thought of when you were talking about the referred pain or whatever, so you have an uncle that thought that he had a bad knee, and come to find out it was actually his hip.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot of athletes are finding that out. As a matter of fact, I know a bunch of football players and wrestlers who went in for knee scopes. Turns out their hip was messed up, which kind of angles you in weird. If you look at Big Show, his shit looks like, his legs come in like this and then go out like that. Like his hips are so screwed up. And I know he's had at least one hip replacement. So, damn, man. This is a bitch being a giant. I always wanted to be taller because I always thought I was small because my family's huge. And, everybody looks at my Facebook page. Everybody thinks I'm small. I'm 6 feet tall. I just don't look it compared to people who are 6'5" and 6'6" and all that.
Right.
But
although you do look at when you stand next to me.
Well, yeah. And that's what I was going to say. There's a few pictures that if you really look deep, and I'll put them up next week, there's some people that I stand next to, and it's obvious that I'm tall. But I just stand next to too many damn giants. It's like my friends were, wrestlers, and my family, and just other people who just happen to be ginormous. I don't know why.
Yeah, your old roommate.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
6'4".
6'4", yeah.
Size 17 shoe.
Jesus.
Yeah, I used to triple those chairs. All right, so the reason we are here is for a couple of, I don't know if you call them funny or stupid stories, but I purposely didn't pre-read these because I wanted to have a genuine, I've read the gist of it, but I want the genuine reaction from, all of us as we read along. So the first story is called Operation Paul Bunyan, the time the U.S. went to war over a tree. Basically, a tree almost caused World War III. All right? So the year was 1976. The place, the Korean Demilitarized Zone, better known as the DMZ, not TMC. One of the most tense, heavily guarded borders in the world. You've got North Korea on one side, South Korea and the United States on the other, staring each other down like angry neighbors in a very high-stakes staring contest. That was real scripted, wasn't it? So in the middle of all this shit was a popular tree, just an innocent tree. It stood near a checkpoint of the bridge called Bridge of No Return. Oh, that's and it was messing with the visibility between the two UN observation posts. This tree wasn't just photobombing, it was a legitimate military concern. So a group of Americans and South Korean soldiers, they ain't always the Americans, went to trim the branches, which you think is no big deal. Except apparently North Korea didn't agree with that there. So suddenly a group of North Korean soldiers attacked with axes and clubs. So, I mean, they didn't have guns or anything. They had attacked them with blades and sticks. 2 U.S. officers were killed and was now called the axe murder incident. Boy, they took a lot of time on that shit.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now, imagine being in the Pentagon. You're trying to avoid World War III, but also a tree just got your guys killed. So it's like, what do you do? So it's like, do you retaliate? You know, do you leave it alone? They decided to go with Operation Paul Bunyan, which wasn't just a tree trimming. It was a show of force. So 16 vehicles rolled onto the DMZ, which 2 full infantry companies, 2 teams of special forces, over 24 helicopters, aircraft carriers were put on alert, B-52 bombers flew overhead, F-4 Phantoms buzzed the zone, and at the center of it all, lumberjacks with chainsaws.
Jesus.
Imagine being these guys just like, you know, it almost reminds me of that viral thing going around right now. Can 100 people beat a gorilla? Have you heard that shit?
No.
The answer is no. Because and it's funny because even on the radio, there's been several shows talking about this, and everybody always has this plan like, okay, well, we get the first 20 to rush them, and then while they got them down, the other come in and punch them in the gut and stuff like that. Okay, the problem is, okay, there's 100 people, right? A gorilla has the strength of 20 men. So really, that's just 5 fights for him.
Exactly.
You know? And you gotta think about those other, like, say 75 that's in the back. And they see them first 25 get their heads torn off and their arms ripped off and beat the shit out of them with them. They probably gonna retreat.
Right.
So, and that goes back to remember, I don't remember the percentages, but a certain amount of percentage of men, grown adult men, of course, they're the alpha boys, believe they can beat a grizzly bear in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
The other one was a king cobra, which is possible. You know, it could strike and you step on his head or whatever, but I'm not trying to test that. An elephant. There's a percentage of men that think they can beat an elephant in a fight, you dumb sons of bitches.
They probably think they can just bring a mouse and they'll be good.
Yeah, they watch all them cartoons. Or just put a thorn down. So
Yeah.
And what was a chimpanzee?
Yeah.
I got news. You ain't beating a chimpanzee at all. A 200-pound chimpanzee can bench press 800 pounds, which gotta look up because this number seems high, but I want to say they said a gorilla can bench press 10,000 pounds, something like that.
Damn.
I'll look it up in a minute. But anyway, so yeah, the U.S. military brought nuclear-capable bombers and elite forces to cover a team of guys cutting down a tree. And so they did this in 42 minutes. Tree gone, mission complete, no shots fired. North Korea didn't retaliate, probably because they were as stunned as anybody else. And this was diplomacy by landscaping. So warfare meet forestry, and the message was clear. Don't fuck with us. Even our gardening is aggressive. That to this day, Operation Paul Bunyan is taught in military strategy courses. That I did not know. It's absurd, it's hilarious, and it's also kind of brilliant. A show of overwhelming force that avoided escalation, because sometimes the best way to flex is to bring chainsaws to a diplomatic standoff. You know, this thing says you should play slow military beat fading off into chopping sounds. Let's see. I gotta do the comments over here. I can see you guys on Facebook, but
Did you see CM Gonzo's?
Yeah, I'm getting there. Billy always looks after his body.
Mhm.
Just seen a meme where it said after the gorilla beat 99 men, I saw that one too. And Brock would get fucked up. Let's see. Where's everyone tonight, Gonzo? Yeah, Gonzo, where the party at? Something
should
about
be
the
here.
party, yeah. I can't remember the words of that song. That was fucking that was college. I still can't believe 30 years has gone by.
I know.
Seems unreal. There's just
Yeah.
there's something I've been talking to a couple of friends that I've been friends with for goddamn 32 years. And just some of the shit we talk about that we did it just seems like it was just a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
My long-term memory is sharp. Short-term memory ain't shit. Might have a little bit to do with Sarah Jane. I don't know. I'll get back to you on
Maybe.
that. So there's the lost city of Atlantis. There's all these other cities they talk about. But did you know that there's a possibility we're walking on top of some cities right now?
No.
No, me neither. Turns out that if you've ever been walking down the sidewalk and just felt like there was something shaking or whatever, might actually be something going down. Because while cities bustle above ground, it says there is a whole forgotten cluster of civilizations, abandoned infrastructure, and even lost neighborhoods that still sleep quietly below. I am not getting that old. Now let's start with Seattle. See, and when I first read this, I thought this was like in England and Europe.
Yeah.
It's like so old, but Seattle, not very old. Back in 1889, the city suffered a massive fire, like a burn it all down type of fire, like the night Chicago died type fire. Let's see. But instead of clearing the rubble completely, the city planners just built a new city on top of the old one, like frosting a burnt cake. So,
Oh, right.
what's left behind? An underground Seattle has storefronts, sidewalks, saloons, and even brothels. If they're still doing stuff there, the ghosts and all that. You can hear that piano. It says it's preserved like a drunken time capsule. And yes, there's a tour. Oh, we're going to Seattle sometime. You can literally walk through the past surrounded by old glass tiles in the ceiling that used to be skylights for the city below. It's like urban inception. That made it sound horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
CM Gonzo says summon Chicago. Guess what? Next up, moving east, we hit Chicago. Thank you for that. Said that was a hell of a segue, man.
Yep.
Known for deep dish corruption and underground madness, beneath the surface lies a labyrinth of freight tunnels, which was, of course, used by some gangsters. But they were also connected to post office, department stores, and even office buildings. There were little trains running around underground hauling coal and mail, just like a steampunk dream. They shut it down in the 50s, but in 1992, disaster struck. A forgotten breach in the tunnels caused the Chicago River to flood the system. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Parts of downtown. Okay, let's try that again. A forgotten breach in the tunnels caused the Chicago River to flood the system and parts of downtown. Buildings were evacuated. Waters gushed like the set of Titanic. Oh, God, that is my biggest fear.
Oh, man.
Just seeing a big wall of water come around the corner after your ass and you ain't fast enough.
No.
Whew, shit. Where were we? Buildings were evacuated. Water gushed in like the set of Titanic. It was like the city remembered it had secrets and decided to share them all at once.
That's creepy.
Now, of course, guess what the next city is?
New York.
In New York. There you go. Let's hop to the subway of New York, which screams underground secrets.
Oh, yeah.
Big Apple, I'm sure there's a subway, but beneath that, there's more. Like the abandoned City Hall station. It's beautiful arched ceilings, mosaic tiles, brass chandeliers, a literal art piece. Closed in 1945 because modern trains were too long to safely stop there. Oh, they just like crashing into the mug or something. So now it just sits in the dark, gorgeous and forgotten, like an ex who peaked in high school. That's rough. And then you got the rumors of underground speakeasies, mob tunnels, and of course, mole people. I always thought that was a cartoon. Yes, there's an entire urban legend and semi-documented reality about people living in the abandoned subway tunnels. Some call it homelessnesses. Others call it subterranean society. Either way, someone down there probably knows how to hotwire a third rail. Oh, that's corny. That's creepy though.
That is.
I mean, what was that show that my mom was talking about where people are living in your house and you don't know about it?
Yeah. I can't remember.
Was it Froggers? Something like that?
No.
I swear that's what she said. I'm gonna look it up. If anybody out there knows, let us know. It's apparently a show about people who are squatting in other people's houses and they don't know about it. For example, there was a knot hole and in somebody's floor, and when they looked in there, I was looking back at them, and that made the hairs on my arm stand. Just thinking about that.
Yeah, I think you're right. You said squatters, right?
I said Froggers.
Oh no, I think it might be squatters.
Well, no, squatters is just basically about squatters. Let me see here.
I didn't know if that was the name of the show.
Yeah, I'll have to ask her. Let me see. Froggers TV show, TV series. No, that's about the video game. George, welcome in. The Milwaukee Spider-Man lived in his mistress's house in the attic. I haven't heard about that. What's his name? I haven't heard about that. What's up, man? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna look that up right now because that sounds interesting. Milwaukee Spider-Man. He would have come up right away.
There was a show called Squatters.
Yeah.
There's I am.
But I thought that was just more about people who were like squatting in plain sight, though.
Oh.
We'll have to find that out for next week because that's going to drive me fucking crazy. He followed him to New York too. Damn, that's crazy. You know, I've heard a bunch of stories like that where somehow somebody is in your attic or in your like walls or some shit like that, and this still just makes the hair stand. You'll see like when they have home cameras and stuff like that, you'll see the shadow come out and like eat something from the fridge and all that. There is no way in hell somebody's hiding in my crib. Because I'm part German Shepherd, man. If I even hear the king somewhere, what's that? Like, and you know, I'm one of those. I ain't afraid of ghosts either because I figure, you know, if the ghost kills me, I'm a ghost too, and then we're on even playing field. And so, you know, I could kick his ass at that point, provided he is not a Brock Lesnar style ghost. But yeah, basically, I just tell him, get the fuck out of here. You only here no more. That's it. Frogging. Yes, just spelled differently.
Oh.
Thank you, CM. Okay, let me look that up. Okay, slang word.
In my house.
Oof. Frogging is the act of secretly living in another person's home without their knowledge or permission. The person who engages in frogging is sometimes called a frog, or less commonly a frogger. Well, that's shit. Frogging is similar to squatting, except that frogging involves living in an occupied property. God. Says example, I just watched a show about frogging, and now I'm going to have dreams about someone creepily living in my attic. No, you don't. See, what you do is you get a broomstick, get that attic door right up there and say, get the fuck out of there. And, you know, if you hear any kind of rattling, then you climb back down that ladder, you go get your 38, you climb back up said ladder, blah, blah, that some bitch, because that's an intruder. Let's see. Billy Sellers says the last house I'm assuming say I was in, last house I was ghost in my house. You had a ghost in your last house, I'm assuming is what you're saying. What was his name? Did you make friends with the ghost or? You know, I wish I could talk to some ghosts or something like that because, you know, it would jump scare me, but I mean, it wouldn't, unless their face was all melted off or something like that. I don't think I can handle that. That shit is gross. there's a few more of these actually. Okay, so we are getting into Europe. Paris, the city of love, croissants, and bones. So many bones. Good Lord. Beneath the cobblestone charm lies the catacombs. More than 200. Oh, I have heard of these. More than 200 miles of underground tunnels lined with the remains of over 6 million people.
Oh
That's
my.
a typo. This is the most. It's the most goth interior decorating decision in recorded history. Originally used to store bones from overflowing cemeteries, the catacombs became an eerie monument to mortality. Some parts are open to tourists, yay, but others are only accessible to cataphiles, those who illegally explore. But that's not accessible then. Those who illegally explored the off-limits sections, like Indiana Jones, French edition. Yeah, that's. I actually kind of want to see that now.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go to Paris, but I'm into the macabre. Vegas. Oh shit, we go to Vegas a lot. So you think everything in Vegas is above board or above ground. But beneath the flashing lights and slot machine clatter lies a network of flood tunnels, more than 600 miles of them. They were designed to prevent flash floods, but now they're home to entire hidden communities. People live there, decorate their spaces, have kitchens, some even have bookshelves. There are social workers who visit regularly. It's less underground bunker and more post-apocalyptic. Take two. Post-apocalyptic HGTV.
Got that?
The City of Angels, Los Angeles. Has secrets below. In the Prohibition era, underground tunnels were used to sneak booze around town. Booze. Corrupt cops and gangsters ran speakeasies right under the noses and feet of the public. Today, parts of that network are still accessible, including some that lead to what used to be an opulent jazz club, now just echo chambers of faded glory. Well, why would I want to visit there? And then there's DC. You got to imagine there's all kind of terrible shit there.
Oh, yeah.
Underneath Washington lies everything from train tunnels used by Congress people to nuclear bunkers and Cold War escape routes. There's even a tunnel that connects the Capitol to the Library of Congress, just in case someone needs to flee with a copy of the Constitution during the zombie apocalypse.
Oh, wow.
Even Disney has a secret underground. Okay, technically it's a utilidor, a system of tunnels under the Magic Kingdom in Florida. But come on, Mickey Mouse has his own subway system. That's boss-level urban planning. So why do all these places exist? Some were built intentionally for transportation, storage, and protection. Others were just forgotten by time. See, and I know there's some more. I know one real creepy one is I don't know the exact number, but there are hundreds of thousands of dead Chinese inside of the Great Wall of China.
Oh, yeah.
As the workers died, they just shoved them in and just poured whatever over the top of them and kept going. So. Yeah, if you ever go to the Great Wall of China, just realize that there, as you're walking across there, you're walking across hundreds of thousands of bodies. I'm surprised they didn't bring up England because I know there's a lot of underground shit there, including Benjamin Franklin's house. Did you hear about that?
No.
There's a possibility he may have been a murderer.
Really?
Yeah, it's speculation, but they found skulls and bones in the basement of where he rented. Now it's possible that he was a grave robber like a lot of scientists, because I mean he invented a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And back then it was illegal to do autopsies for any kind of scientific purpose, which is why they had to rob the graves. So it's one of those things that it's a morality issue, but sometimes you gotta you got to do sometimes immoral things for progress, I guess. And only if it benefits you is when you agree with it, right? Billy Sellers. It was
a bad spirit. Some used to do voodoo in my room I stayed in.
What did you do, Billy? Who was after you and why? Did you wrong somebody? Did you steal somebody's girl? Tell me what you did, Billy.
CM Gonzo said, my grandparents' old house seemed to be haunted by a former owner.
How old was the house? And do you know the history of it? Because that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
My grandparents' house you know, it was around 2000 when you could start looking up the assessor online. And I had no idea that it was built in, I want to say 1891. And we used to always have a joke because in the basement, it was still like dirt covered.
Mhm.
And so I used to be afraid to go down there. And it was one of those basements that you go down the steps, this basement, it's huge, it's the size of the house. You walk all the way across and then you walk up some steps to one of those storm cellars, the big flap door.
Mhm.
And but there was just something about that dirt floor, and it's because one of my damn cousins when I was little said something about, man, one of these days you're gonna fuck around and find some inmates that escaped from prison digging their way up. And as you grow up, the shit that you heard, it's ridiculous, but it still messes with you for some reason. Here's an example. My grandpa used to tell me, when you blow up a balloon, as it was getting bigger, he'd be like, all right, now you let that thing pop, it'll take your eye out. Okay, that's bullshit. But to this day, as that balloon gets larger,
you have anxiety.
ripping my eye out.
Yeah.
I mean, some stupid shit just sticks with you.
Mhm.
Let's see. Says I didn't do shit to no one. It was haunted when my mom bought the house. So what do you know about the former owners? So, let's see. So do you live on your own now, or are you still there? Because y'all might need to do something about that. Do like the Ghostbusters on that cartoon where they throw out that little thing and it vacuums them up, but they have to keep them in control with the lasers and shit. It's been a long time since I've seen that. Let's see if there's any more. So what you see on the surface is only half the story. The rest is hidden, complex, messy, and usually smells weird. Here's the fun part. Most of these places still there. Right now, while you're walking, driving, living your above ground life, entire hidden realms lie just below you. Some have people, some have ghosts, some are waiting to collapse into a plot of the next supernatural Netflix series. Oh man, that is kind of eerie though. Just thinking about being watched when you don't know there's people there, or there's a presence around you. Because I'm one of those, I can feel weird shit around me. And for me, the only way I can describe it is, remember the old TVs when you turn them on and off, there was just that really high pitched frequency. It's like that. Like if somebody's coming behind me, starting at about 10 feet, it's just this feedback, and then like you start getting the pricklies and shit. And then, by about that time, they're about 5 feet away and I turn around, but you just get this weird, eerie feeling. But the scary part is not everybody does. Some people just walk down the street. So especially Gen Z looking down at their phones and shit like that, y'all gonna die. This is anyway. So either way, keep your eyes open whenever you see cracks in the sidewalk, because you just might see some eyeballs poking up at you.
Creepy.
I'm telling you, man, I would immediately just poke that mother. I'd scream first, and I mean high pitched scream, like "Come help me!" scream. I heard a woman screaming in here. Let's see. It was haunted. We moved from there. I'm trying to get these up. I love my new house I'm in now. What state are you in, Billy? Is it Indiana or are you North Carolina? I'm probably wrong on both accounts. Let's see. It's old due to guidelines. The previous owner had a rope. Okay. Why did the previous owner have a rope? Do I want to know? After my family left, there was, oh, wow. So that place is no more, huh? I wonder if the ghost did that shit. Because, there's so many people that are just confident, oh, there's no ghost. And, sometimes I'm like that. And then there's other times where there's some shit you just can't explain. It's like no matter scientifically, you just can't explain it. And that's the shit where it's just, I don't even try to to figure it out. I just figure there's something bigger than me. And I think there's just some things that we're not even capable of understanding.
Yep.
Like for instance, the pyramids and a lot of things
Yes.
the Aztecs did, and was there supernatural life forms, or where did they go? Are they still walking amongst us? And it's just a lot of weird shit to think about.
hmm
North Kakalaki, I was right. Okay. I don't. Well, everybody else is from Indiana. That's why I threw that one in there. It's Indiana, Kentucky, and North Carolina, and there's sprinkles everywhere else on Kenny's show. So do we have any more questions or comments here? Doesn't look like it. And again, we're a little slow because Miss Jackson ain't here to run the controls. And again, she's doing fine. I'm sure she would appreciate your well wishes. So, if you want to send them through me or send them through her DM on Facebook, I'm sure she would love that. But she is recovering. She is, as I understand, she was watching TV last I heard. So I'm going to either call her tonight or tomorrow and talk to her. But yeah, so it seems like things are going to go much smoother from here on. I'm going to plan on not doing any more drinking the way I did. 2 beers or 1 dranky drink per night, because that was scary. And full disclosure, my dumbass has done that before and forgot about it.
It's been a while since that happened, though.
Was it 6 years? Something like that. It was in Vegas.
Yeah.
And it was a brand new medication. But here's the thing. I didn't drink that much. I know I had somebody handed me a White Claw, and I took a swig of that and wanted to throw up and handed it back to him. And then we went to one of those like the slushy places. And he did lean on it. It was it was like 2 shots where it's like pour. So it was no more than 3 shots, and I didn't finish it. But I just remember as the night was going on, things just started kind of, just getting weird. I was getting kind of like tunnel vision, and as I'm trying to go to the men's room because I can't remember what casino it was, but it was a straight shot to the men's room. But the further I was walking, it seemed like the further the men's room was getting away from me. And so when I finally got in there, I remember just yakking and in the stall. I remember just leaning up against the stall because it's all cool. I got that nice bald head. I'm sweating. And evidently an hour and a half went by because I heard this male voice, Jason. I was like, oh God, I died. It's God. Yes. There's some young ladies out here worried about you. I'll be right out. So I had to shake it off, go to the sink, splash some water on my face. And then I remember going back out there and sitting at the table because people I was with were doing whatever. And I kind of nodded off again. And so the girl I was with, she wound up damn near carrying me back to my bed, back to the hotel room. Loaded me with saltine crackers and Gatorade and went back and had a good old time. But at least she got me back to the room, I guess. Let's see what's going on over here. We got a conversation happening between
Gonzo said, after my family left, there was a fire there. It was really sad. I don't know if you...
Yeah, no, we talked about that. Hope she gets to feeling better soon, Billy says. That's towards JJ. I'm sure she appreciates that. She appreciates you all.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to be on my podcast show tomorrow. What time is your show, Billy? And go ahead and give us the link, man.
Yep.
Well, I'll promote you. Billy. Sup?
Sup?
Scrimey at night. Good to have you in here. So this
7.
Friday. What's
7 your time, I'm assuming. So that would be 4 our time?
4 our time, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you're Eastern time, Billy, I'm assuming, right? Where are my notes? Tell you what, you go ahead and remind them of the
where to go, addresses, and all that stuff. I'm gonna grab my
I-
notes. We can talk about what's going on Friday.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have control over the little scroller thing at the bottom, but I can give it to you verbally. On Facebook, we are at Jaded Zen Entertainment. On YouTube, it's youtube.com/@JadedZen. And on Instagram, it's train, TRANEWRECK. So train wrecked _D. I know sometimes it's kind of hard to remember how to spell it properly because we are doing kind of a play on words. So it's TRANE instead of TRAIN. And our next show will be next Wednesday, which is the 14th. And I cannot believe that the month of May will be halfway over then. It's just amazing how quickly time goes by.
Oh, that was nice and smooth. Turns out it was on my desk the entire time, just buried under some shit. So on Friday, our show will be entitled Under Pressure, Navigating the Stress Landscape of Today. So, again, Fridays are all about serious talk, mental health, mental illness, physical illness, basically whatever you want to talk about. Don't be ashamed of whatever topic. We'll talk about any damn thing. I'm not ashamed of shit. When we become adults, I still don't understand that TMI. It's like, shut the fuck up. That's how people die. It's like not talking about shit they've gone through because it's too embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. It's called Under Pressure, Navigating the Stress Landscapes of Today. That is 6 a.m. Pacific, so 10 a.m. Eastern. That is not live, by the way. That's just going to be dropped. That's pre-recorded, so really doesn't matter when you get to it. You get to it when you get to it, but that's what time it drops. We are live every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. I know it's a little late on a Wednesday, but you and your draws watching TV anyways.
Yep.
Watch me. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your mama, your daddy, your grandpappy, your Uncle Jimmy Jack, your cousin Crazy Carl. Share with everybody. Give it 2 weeks. If you don't like it, give it another damn 2 weeks. And then,
Exactly.
I
And share some more.
Yep. But with the show about Under Pressure, basically the dangers of stress, we're going to talk about coping mechanisms. Basically a lot of things that'll help you out. I struggle to put a damn piece of paper in a folder. Next week for this show, Jesus Christ. That's what I get for not being prepared. We're going to pretend like this is the bizarre history of the Academy Awards. So that should be entertaining, huh?
Yes.
And then we'll have some other stuff we'll be talking about because things that have come up throughout the past couple of weeks that I'd like to address. And it's not serious shit. It's just, things in general. And we will be talking a little bit more about the future of the show. We'll be talking about a few spinoffs that's going to be happening, including those of you who've been watching us for a long time. A few months ago, you saw the sketch comedy show we were going to have concerning puppets. Those puppets have been fired, had bad attitudes. We had a whole new batch of puppets. So hopefully by the fall of 25, that show will be ready. It's called Off the Rail. Sounds a little familiar, doesn't it? But that will be coming soon. We are still doing the Reefer Madness project. It's just a slow going project, but that's still coming. I'm hoping by winter of 25. Try not to be too overzealous with these release dates because as you go along, you start to realize there's issues with editing, equipment, money.
A lot that goes into everything.
Oh my God, just creative differences, So it is a labor of love. So I hope you guys stick with us. What the guy did with the rope was against guidelines, so I'm trying not to be specific. Okay, yeah, I got you.
Yep.
I hear you loud and clear. So for those of you who showed up tonight, I thank you. For those of you who are watching later, I thank you as well. It doesn't matter if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay. Live's just a little bit better because you can be interactive. You can see your name on the screen and say, look, I'm on the TV.
I'm famous.
And plus, you know, we like to get interactive because some of you will actually bring on the show. If you have a topic that really means something to you, you know, bring it. So I'm open to ideas and I'm open to suggestions. And you know, over here, you're not having to pay for anything, so you don't have to worry about me hitting you up for nothing. So, you know, we're just here to have fun. I'll hit you up for money later. So we will see you 10 o'clock Eastern on Friday morning, hopefully, or whenever you decide to log in. But we will definitely see you 7 p.m. Pacific next Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you tomorrow as well, Billy. I will try to check your show out. Before you go, though, make sure you post, post what it's called, or what your link is, because everybody on YouTube can see it, but not everybody here can see it. So I'll actually be able to put it up. So I'll give you a minute here while I basically stutter and stammer through this stuff again. So if you want to get to our Instagram, remember it's Instagram.com/jaded_Coltrane. Remember, it's like Michael Cole and like train drive. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's for wait a minute. Did we already do that one?
You didn't. The Jaded Zen is your own.
Oh yeah, duh.
Or the Jaded Coltrane, I mean.
Okay, yeah. So the Facebook, just type in Jaded Zen Entertainment. It will be right there. Official YouTube page. If you're on it, you know about it. If you're not, it's /@JadedZen. YouTube.com/@JadedZen. Make sure you hit that subscription button down in the lower right corner. Only hit it once. If you are subscribed, then you're already subscribed. If you're not, just click the button. Comment, like, share, and we will see you Friday. We will see you next week. For Shell, for Ms. Jackson. You got any closing words for Shell?
I hope you all have a wonderful and blessed week.
As do I. So thank you all for showing up. Billy, CM Gonzo, who am I missing? Scrimey at Night, Christy, Elena. And if I missed you, I'm sorry, because I can only see so much right now. But please join us again live next week, 7 p.m., 10 p.m. Eastern. I'm the Coltrane. That's the Shell Train. We're saying good night.
Night.